Even Erie County Sheriff John Garcia acknowledges that his office is not the best at responding to requests made under the state's Freedom of Information law.
We have to get better, okay? We have to get better.
In February, we requested through FOIL a spreadsheet of internal affairs cases that included the name of the employee accused of wrongdoing, the type of case, a description of the complaint, and the outcome. It's a document former Sheriff Tim Howard released a few years ago. But Sheriff's Chief Neil Held, who works for Garcia, denied our request, saying the document could not be located with reasonable effort, and if disclosed would endanger the life and safety of deputies.
It is surprising. I reviewed your request. It seemed very straightforward and specific, and it's information that you've received in the past. So really doesn't seem like a legitimate basis for denying your request.
When questioned last week by Two on Your Side's Ron Plants, Garcia said Erie County has fewer Freedom of Information officers than Buffalo Police, and he plans to hire 2 more in the next budget cycle.
I'm not trying to withhold any information. The problem is this, is going back when you're doing another job and having to compile all this information, it's very tasking on a sheriff's office that's already spread thin.
But last week, Sheriff's Chief Dan Grasso, the FOIL appeals officer, cited a 1983 court case in his denial of Two on Your Side's appeal, arguing that the records are, quote, abbreviated and narrative with no context and by its nature opinion. Open government advocates like Paul Wolf say that contrasts with the repeal of Civil Rights Law 50A in 2020, which for the first time made police misconduct records open to public inspection.
And there have been several court decisions now that have ruled very clearly that this information is public information, that there is no reason to withhold this information. Unfortunately, the Sheriff's Department doesn't seem to have gotten the message here.
So do you anticipate eventually more disciplinary records will be released?
I'm not against disciplinary records being released. I'm not against anything being released.
Yeah, good morning. That dry docking was supposed to take place in October of this year, but it is not looking like these repairs are going to be taking place anytime soon. I want to show you this newsletter that the Naval Park just recently put out here, and you can see that it says due to administrative delays between the City of Buffalo and the marine management firm, it's not going to happen this year. The Naval Park going on to say that the city was responsible for administrative delays related to insurance and documentation. So this is not a matter of funding. The Naval Park has already secured $21 million for these renovations to take place that are necessary because the Sullivans, since its sinking in April of 2022, these ships have been relying on temporary fixes. But to make more permanent fixes, they need to commence this dry docking process, which will take up to 6 months. Now, we're also hearing from the city, who, interesting enough, is saying in a statement that they did not miss any deadlines. And despite this situation right now, they say they continue to work closely and communicate with all the parties, including the Naval Park. Now, according to the Naval Park, the earliest we could see this dry docking take place would be October 2026. But the real concern right now is that these delays mean that these 2 vessels here will see another winter period before getting these repairs, and that is when you could see some real catastrophic damage take place during a period like that. We're reporting on your side here at the Naval Park. Andy Payton, Channel 2 News.
Caught on camera. Cars spinning, tires screeching, and crowds gathering. This isn't a racetrack. It's a Buffalo parking lot, and neighbors say that happens nearly every weekend.
And they're gunning their cars and their trucks and scaring the heck out of the people on this street. It's terrible. I mean, I jump up myself.
From broken windows to ripped out security cameras, businesses and neighbors say the late night takeovers are leaving behind much more than just noise.
Want them to make it stop. I mean, because I pay my taxes too.
I mean, you look at the parking lot right here. This is just part of it.
Tim Kraska co-owns this commercial building and parking lot in Buffalo and says he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars just trying to keep his property intact.
This is what they do. They camp out over here. They got 60, 70, 80 cars surrounding them, and then they start ripping it. And over here too.
Kraska says the damage isn't just physical, it's financial.
We're doing everything humanly possible we can, and we communicate with the law enforcement officials. We've got calls into the mayor's office saying, hey, how can you help us? because it's got to stop. Get a hold of the police. They're wonderful. They show up. But these individuals have scanners.
The security camera company serving this business says the issue stretches across Buffalo, including another property on One Ship Canal Parkway. Many are worried it's only a matter of time before someone gets seriously injured.
Afraid that something bad's gonna happen, but it's gonna be too late.
Kraska says these videos speak for themselves. Cars doing donuts while crowds cheer and no accountability in sight.
This is private property, okay? Respect ours as you would respect yours. Don't do it here. Don't do it here, please.
He says the Buffalo Police Department has been responsive, but their hands are tied when it comes to chasing suspects.
We need to get some arrests. This needs to stop. You know, trespassing, destruction of property.
Neighbors say it used to be a quiet street, and now it's a destination for chaos. For now, business owners say they will be watching closely, hoping this Friday stays quiet. On your side here in Buffalo, I'm Alexandra Rios-Movia, Channel 2 News.
Just before sunrise last Friday, behind a restaurant on Transit Road, Amherst police arrested 2 men from Yonkers who were driving a truck with 1,400 gallons of used cooking oil, which police believe was stolen from containers behind several restaurants in the area.
It's approximately $5,000 to $6,000 worth of grease.
Okay.
So it's significant.
And not at all surprising to Sumit Majumdar, the founder of Buffalo Biodiesel.
Many of you might be familiar with a refuse service. You contract with someone who brings you a receptacle, and then you pay them every month to come and pick up your garbage. The grease game works a little differently. Here, they provide you a receptacle to put your grease in, and they pay you when they pick it up.
Buffalo Biodiesel now serves more than 27,000 customers in 15 states, paying 25 cents a gallon for the oil, which it then renders at its Tonawanda plant and sells for $4 a gallon to refineries that turn it into a multitude of biofuels. It's a pretty good business, except for the thievery.
It's just widespread.
He gave us this list of the nearly 4,000 of his containers that were drained last year alone, resulting in an estimated loss of potential revenue of $20 million. As these surveillance videos from prior thefts show, the thieves using pumps work quickly, and they become more organized.
Typically, they'll have a scout ahead of time that will be going during the daytime, looking at what the level heights are, and then they'll be given a list of places to hit in the evening. In some cases, they're even paying off employees to tip them off as to when the levels are high, and they come and get it.
For someone who wasn't a big math fan in high school, I certainly chose to do a lot of math for a living. Anywho, the latest batch of campaign finance reports were released last week in the race for Buffalo mayor. In the period between January 12th and May 19th, acting Mayor Scanlon raised more than $490,000. Former Fire Commissioner Garnell Whitfield Jr. raised more than $42,000. And Councilmember Rashid N.C. Wyatt raised just under $13,500. As for Senator Sean Ryan's campaign, his disclosures need a little bit more context. The Ryan campaign raised more than $744,000 during that filing period. However, $300,000 of that was transferred from his Senate campaign account. In terms of individual contributions, Ryan raised over $444,000 since mid-January. As for cash on hand, the Scanlon campaign announced it had more than $666,000, while the Ryan campaign has just above $136,000. Got it? Good. Now, the Ryan campaign has been spending quite a bit, including an ad that you've seen on Channel 2 airwaves.
Carl Palladino and MAGA are with Scanlon.
Using his campaign funds in order to link the acting mayor with developer Carl Palladino. Palladino, you'll remember, as a one-time gubernatorial candidate and school board member who was removed from his position after controversial and offensive remarks. In the eyes of Ryan and his supporters,
the Republican institution is attempting to buy this election.
That institution locally being Carl Palladino. You also may remember that in December, Two on Your Side confirmed through a text exchange with Carl Palladino that he supports Scanlon for mayor, but there was no formal endorsement at a podium or even a press release. The acting mayor did not comment on the endorsement at the time, nor celebrate it. Monday afternoon, Scanlon said,
"My campaign has not accepted one single donation from Carl Palladino."
Which is true. According to filings for Scanlon's mayoral and council campaigns, Carl himself has never donated. However, Scanlon has received thousands of dollars from Ellicott Development and Carl's son William, who the acting mayor has called a childhood friend.
Billy Palladino is not Carl Palladino. And Carl Palladino has not donated to this campaign or any other campaign of mine in quite a long time because of some of the things he's done and said.
The acting mayor maintains that he never sought Carl Palladino's endorsement. Scanlon also rejects a claim made by Assemblyman John Rivera that he is cozying up with Republicans in Buffalo.
Republicans with deep pockets are trying to make it seem as though Chris Scanlon is a Democrat, trying to make it seem as though he believes in democratic values.
I was born and raised a Democrat, and I am more of a Democrat than the vast majority of them in the way they operate, I can tell you that.
On your side, Nate Benson, Channel 2 News.
It's the last one standing in Western New York, fully enclosed mall. It has a lot of good going for it, but it's a large retail space.
A dilemma Cheektowaga's town supervisor ponders regarding Walton Galleria.
You've got over 200 stores, you've got food in there, you've got other entertainment. For a mall, it's still going pretty strong.
The perceived weak point, a remaining $220 million balance from a 2012 loan for expansion back then for a theater restaurant complex. And now, according to our partner Buffalo Business First, a court foreclosure proceeding underway led by Wells Fargo Bank. As with previous loan extensions, mall owner Pyramid Management Group expressing confidence for a positive resolution in active discussions with lenders. However, now this much more serious legal and financial situation with lowered assessments, financial pain as well for the host community.
If you go back 10, 15 years, property taxes it was paying was probably around $6 million. These days, they're a little bit under $2 million. And that's for town, county, and school together.
Also, if the mall would ultimately go dark, a significant loss of sales tax for the county, town, and other communities, and hundreds of jobs gone. So NOAC suggesting future thinking for future decades with that dire possibility, like more flexible town zoning policies for that property beyond retail.
There could be a scenario in the future where this is apartments or housing part of the property. It could be warehousing. There's so much that this can turn into down the road, but right now it's a large retail space. 2-3 years from now, I think it's still going to be a large retail space, but discussions about what it's going to be later.
On the other hand, even with more online retail competition and yes, image problems for the mall with some violence, maybe don't write it off just yet.
I wouldn't chalk this up to be all doom and gloom. There's some struggles. Getting on the other side of that, there could be a positive future for this place.
Pharmacist Don Arthur owns Brighton Eggert Pharmacy and BlackRock Pharmacy and says while he's used to onboarding new patients, this is something the industry hasn't dealt with before.
In my career, which started in 1977, this is different. I've never experienced anything like this.
The good news is that it's easy to transfer your medications to a new pharmacy.
They can stop in and visit that pharmacy, or they can contact them by phone. And the onboarding process now is quite simple. Our software programs in all pharmacies, independent pharmacies, and there's 60 plus independent pharmacies in the 8 counties of Western New York. And the chains that are still here, Walgreens is going to be closing stores. CVS apparently will be closing some stores. But just reach out to the pharmacy that you'd like to try to transfer to, and they'll ask you some questions. Your medication allergies, just be prepared with your insurance information.
The pharmacy will then reach out to your doctors. Many of the pharmacies use a platform called SureScripts, which makes it easy. Catherine Grange is the director of advocacy at Jericho Road Community Health Center. She says the pharmacies at Jericho Road can also help, and you don't have to be a patient there.
A lot of our patients are stuck at home or just busy, and we provide free delivery services for every single prescription that you have. We also remind folks, and of course, it's just a step into or an avenue into some of the other services that we provide at Jericho Road.
I would ask that patients in the community don't wait until the door's locked. Start looking for a pharmacy and create a relationship as soon as possible.
After securing grant funding, the Lewiston Police Department was able to purchase a new drone. The Lewiston Police Chief says this kind of technology will assist them when responding to crime scenes as well as searching for missing persons.
It's another vantage point. It's an officer safety issue as well that we can use for, like I said, in a dangerous type of situation where we can see without actually getting too close to whatever the danger is.
Lewiston Police Chief Frank Privet says the department now has a certified drone pilot who can operate the new technology. The department used the drone for training purposes during the Memorial Day parade, alerting the community by posting about the drone on the department's Facebook page.
It's a DJI Matrice 30T. We did a in-house training program, which was a 20-hour program. Also, then we had to take an FAA test, which was a Part 107, which that allows us to fly any sort of drone.
Chief Privet says they've had some difficult search operations in the past.
One of the biggest things that we have to deal with a lot of times too, as far as searching wise, and makes it a hard area to get to, would be even the gorge along the river, where we've had issues, with boats overturning and different things happening.
The Lewiston Police Chief says they're in the process of securing another grant to purchase a second drone. He says he believes this kind of technology will help better protect officers and the community. On your side in Lewiston, Chelsea Swift, Channel 2 News.
We're here at the first hero marker on the run for the fallen, where, as you can see behind me, runners have just completed 5 of their 500 miles, starting at the Buffalo Naval Park, going all the way to New York City. Now, these runners won't be doing all of those 500 miles. They run in about 5 to 6 mile shifts, but each of them will complete about 5 to 10 miles each and every day as they honor heroes from all over New York who have fallen due to the war on terror. Now, at that first hero marker right at the Buffalo Naval Park, they honored Trooper Jennifer Zarnicki, who passed away from breast cancer due to complications from responding to Ground Zero right after 9/11. And at this last hero marker right here, they honored Master Sergeant Christopher Hackett, who was in the Air Force, who passed away as well. So they're honoring these family members as they move their way from Buffalo all the way to New York City. And the director says it's really important to be able to walk and run right where these heroes grew up.
This is where they played, this is where they grew up, and so we're right in their backyards, and so we just feel like we're really connecting with these fallen heroes and their families.
Great people here, and it pulls the strings you didn't know you had till you feel them tugged on.
Now, this is the 10th year of the Run for the Fallen. This is actually the first year they've started this run in Buffalo. They wanted to do something really special and run all the way from one side of the state to the other to really honor all of their fallen heroes. Now, if you want to meet them on their run or meet them at one of these hero markers, we're going to have their full map and those times that they're expected to hit those different hero markers on our website, WGRZ.com. On your side in Buffalo, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.
Flying by like a feathered friend.
Woo, look at that cardinal.
Are 2 friends.
He's a red bird. Do you see him in there? That cardinal?
Sharing perspective on Mother Nature.
Okay.
Joseph Hansen is a wheelchair user and outdoor enthusiast.
It's good outside.
Becca Wisher is his guide and aide.
We want to make sure that everybody's allowed to go out and that everybody has a chance to go out and see outdoors and to be a part of nature.
A mission accomplished by doing. The pair hikes accessible trails across western New York and shares that experience with others.
Allegheny State Park or Spraguebrook or Chestnut Ridge, where there is a lot of accessibility there, but we still can't do everything. We're not asking to do everything, but to be included is important.
Yeah.
That inclusion, as Joseph will tell you, isn't without some challenges.
You cannot put the wheels on like mud places.
But as Becca explains,
when we say hiking is for everybody, yes, everybody has different experiences and different limitations, but there is always something out there for everybody somewhere.
A blue bird.
Yeah, blue jay.
A blue jay.
it's that mindset, like a new path or boardwalk at a local park, that opens up new opportunities, meaning people like Joseph are no longer limited by their wheelchairs, but with them are empowered.
I mean, it's so much fun to get out, to get outdoors.
It is empowerment, honestly, which is a fantastic word. Empowerment and inclusion.
A message that the outdoors is for everyone, regardless of how you fly by. On your side in Amherst, Rob Hackford, Channel 2 News.
I'll promise that everything I ask you today, you're going to tell me the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay.
Inside of this Erie County courtroom.
Who's that?
Dad.
Dad? And who's that?
Mommy.
Mommy.
What started as a foster placement became something much more today.
Are you ready?
Forever family.
Because you are officially Zai and Nico O'Connor and a forever family!
And those pom-poms to celebrate, well, they came courtesy of Mom, Lisa O'Connor's Buffalo Jill alumni sisterhood. She spent 7 years cheering with the squad.
So emotional just having all these people that we've known for years and we loved, and the Buffalo Jills alumni coming out to support us. That's like my sisterhood.
Lisa and her husband Patrick first became foster parents in 2019 with help from Gateway Longview, a local foster care and adoption support agency.
It was one of those things. I woke up one day and I just kept seeing ads that foster parents were needed, and I felt like they were speaking to me.
The journey led 4-year-old Zai and 3-year-old Nico into their home in 2022. And 3 years later, they're here to stay.
It means everything. It's been 3 years in the making, a lot of ups and downs.
And Owen and Gianna O'Connor,
we just knew they were the perfect children to just soon adopt.
Just as excited to welcome their new brothers.
Feeling really emotional that we get to see these little cutie pies grow up for their life. It's just really amazing.
So it's a massive undertaking. It involves the whole community, and we're just very lucky that everybody comes out and supports it and embraces what pride means to the community.
I want to support the community I'm a part of and show my pride. Regardless of where you're coming from in life, there is a place for you in Buffalo to be your true, authentic self.
It's such a great community, like here in Buffalo and here at Pride. It's all about the love for all people, and everyone should be loved and appreciated in their own way.
Check, now let's give it y'all.
I never missed the Pride Parade since the very beginning. We were just talking about how tiny the first one was and how gigantic this one is. It's fantastic.
Happy Pride! It's a community. Everyone comes together. It's such a good mood, good vibes all around.
It's finally, I feel like, a freeing of like people, like, you know what I mean? Like people being able to be whoever they want to be, love whoever they want to love, like coming together, really.